Welcome back to episode 96 of the
Mm.
Purple Rain podcast. We are live. It's not a pre-recorded. We are live. We are here. We are in the
Nope.
flesh. You can just drop what you want in the comments and we'll bring it up. You know that. It is the Adelius Thomas episode.
Ooh.
It is the Broderick Washington episode. The
Mm.
Brent Urban. And
Talk
for
to
you
him.
LSU fans, the Marcus Spears, the Mate Kimoyatsu got this little lineup here. But we're back and we actually have some good news. Well, not good news. We have news to talk about. Not just, any news. It's from the GM himself. I think I'm pretty excited to talk about that. We have a friendly former Raven back in Baltimore. We were talking about it before the show. It definitely wasn't put out there by accident. It was on purpose, and we'll get into that. But first, where can they find you on Instagram and on Twitter?
Yeah, man, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram at SuttonDef. Just follow me. We could chop it up about football. I know it's not football season anymore, guys, but I'm into more things, I'm into UFC. I'm into basketball. I'm into other sports. So just hit me up. This Saturday. We'll talk about that, too, maybe at the end. But this guy over here, you can follow him on Twitter at SimplyAS10 and on Instagram at SimplyAS10.prod. Do not forget it. And then, most importantly, you can follow us on Instagram at The Purple Rain Podcast, just like you see up above with the in front of it, at The Purple Rain Podcast, just like that. The D is very important. Or else you're going to find some other Purple Rain podcast that's about the TCU Bullfrogs or something like that. I think it's weird. It's weird.
They're probably talking about Andy Dalton. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. Anyway, welcome back to the Purple Rain Podcast. Like my guy Alex said, this is not a pre-recorded episode. This is a live and in the flesh episode. So thank you guys all for coming in here and joining us for episode 96. If you're not watching live right now and you're part of the hashtag replay gang, thank you so much for joining this episode. We appreciate you guys just as much. Make sure you leave your comments down below with the hashtag replay gang because we just love to see you guys down below, man. Replay gang. We love you guys.
And in our last video, the pre-recording on Monday, definitely some names they brought up about free agency that I didn't even think about. I loved it. Bringing up Zadarius Smith if he were to be cut, because we didn't bring him up, either of us. So that was a big one. And I saw Hayden Hurst's name too. That'd be a crazy reunion, if anything. But we got other things to talk about. So
we do. And the Rain Gang is in the chat too. Like we said, Cam Neal, PRP,
always.
First and foremost, man. Always there, man. Zach George in the house was good, man. The Pointful, Sports Gaming YouTube. Yo, what's up, Rain Gang? I'm Snipe Gang Douglas. I switched my name. Oh, what's up, Douglas? How you doing, man? Appreciate you for coming through this episode of PRP. Omar's in the house. Says, good evening, Flock. What's going on, Omar? Jonathan Washington Jr., what's up? We got Mod K-Dog in the house, the Purple Rain pioneer himself since day zero, really. Yo, what's good, Rain Gang family, on this Friday Eve? UFC 273. I know that's right, man. I'm so excited for UFC 273. It's going to be a really, really good card. I said it about the last card, guys, but look, if you're not in the UFC and you kind of want to get into it, you're trying to find new sports to watch this weekend's card. Yeah. Saturday night, it'll be on pay-per-view, but, if you don't want to do the pay-per-view, there's other ways. You didn't hear from me. Exactly. Anyway, K-Dog asked me, who you got, Masvidal or Covington? I am going to go with Covington. I got to go with Covington in this one. I love Masvidal, but Covington's pace and just his tenacity and just his toughness, I think it's going to be too much for Jorge Masvidal, who's always kind of been like a journeyman. He did kind of get a spark back when he landed that flying knee against, Ben Askren and went viral and everything like that. But he's just not cream of the crop, of that division. He got completely starched by Kamaru Usman, who's the champion. And Usman and Colby Covington just went another 5 rounds, So I've got Colby Covington in this fight. K-Dog. Let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. says, Sutton, your Sixers looking pretty nice with James Harden. I know. They are. I'm excited.
And Ben Simmons still hasn't played.
He has not. Ben Simmons has not played for the Nets just yet. But I'm excited to see that too, though. Raven76B more says, salute Ravens flock. What's going on, man? Appreciate you. Christian says, what up, pimps? And he said he's pulling for Masvidal. Okay. I got you. Zeke Okage says, yo, what's good, fellas? And the Rain Gang. What's good, Zeke, man? What's going on? I appreciate all of you guys for coming through. Honestly, we really do. But we got some business to talk about. Like my guy Alex said, we got some stuff to talk about. And let's just dive right into it. And real quick,
before we start, I saw your tweet today about Colin Cowherd in the UFC, and I couldn't agree more. I think it's funny for you. I guess UFC to you is soccer to me. Seeing people who don't know anything about the sport talk about it is just funny. It's just funny because you could tell he didn't know what he was talking about.
Dude, Colin Coward was like, yeah, Masvidal won his last 5 fights. When literally his last fight, he got knocked the fuck out. Like, bad. It was viral. It was bad. So, just that was embarrassing. It was unprofessional. And me, look, I love me some Colin Coward. I'll admit it, I do. I like, sometimes his takes, his analogies, like, just his charisma. I like Colin Coward. But, like, that was very foolish of him to say, for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this stuff. EDC talk, what he said at the Combine presser. I think what we want to lead with, guys, is kind of like the biggest topic, the main takeaway from this presser. Lamar's contract, right?
I mean, so that's going to be the talk of the offseason, I think.
Yeah. Still no, there's still silence, basically. EDC basically updated us with, there hasn't, been talks. Lamar and him have a great relationship, but they're moving at his pace. And he said the same thing 3 weeks ago. So is my question to you, Alex, and to the rest of the Rain gang, you guys watching, even the replay gang as well, is this silence or is this no answer really an answer? You know?
And here's the quote himself. He said, I think it takes two sides to actively put their heads together and get a deal worked out. We are ready to be there for Lamar at any point. When he decides that he really wants to work on it, we will be. Lamar's not there because if you could tell, he's working out. I know you've seen it. I know I've seen it. He's trying to get better, which I think is something that we really haven't seen. I mean, I know he was working out a couple of years ago, but this right now, he's working out with a quarterback coach, not just friends. Like, this is an actual coach. And I think that's kind of what you want to see. He has James Prochet there, has Rashad Bateman there, two guys that if he can get better chemistry with, opens up the offense. I mean, he already has a chemistry with 5 and 89. That's not even a question. But I just really wasn't a fan of that quote and just saying that we're going at his pace. It just felt like there's a lot of blame being shifted on him when he didn't have to say that. He just could have said, we're still working through it and hopefully we can get a resolution soon. That's all I really had to say. But just putting it out there, it shows they aren't close, unfortunately.
And it kind of sends a message to Lamar that, hey, look, the ball's in your court, buddy.
Yep.
Like, you got to come to us with something. We've already, tried to reach out to you, but, you don't have an agent and you're pretty much going at your own pace. So ball's in your court. When you're ready, come talk to us. That's basically what EDC said to Lamar Jackson without actually saying it to Lamar Jackson. Yeah. So I really don't know, man. It's kind of hard because I do understand from the Ravens standpoint, from the Ravens front office standpoint, they want to get this deal done before it's too late because, they can get him on a deal now and then they can kind of evaluate the rest of their options from there.
And instead of how much in cap? I think like 15 to 20 mil. That can be put. It could sign you on Mike Williams with that money. I mean, I know you want him at your top. I'm just hypothetically speaking. It's how you Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah. But just like my guy here, what a bunch of you guys are saying here in the chat, Zeke Hokage says, I believe Lamar is betting on himself.
He's pulling the Joe.
JB says it as well here. Lamar is in Cali grinding. He's going all in this year, betting on himself. Christian says, I hope 8 pulls a Flacco. Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. All signs are pointing towards he is not pressed to sign no contract right now. He is going to, wait it out, go into this next season, play his heart out, and basically I think so the fact that there's no movement yet, it means that one, EDC, is telling Lamar Jackson, hey, the ball's in your court. But then also, since there's no movement, it's kind of like Lamar Jackson telling the Ravens, no, the ball is in your court. Like, I can prove this to you. I can win a Super Bowl. You go out and make something happen and get me these pieces that I need, and then we can talk about payment right after I win you a Super Bowl.
And those pieces are protecting him.
Right.
I mean, if I'm Lamar, I've said it before, I think I'm disrespected by this front office. Granted, he wasn't signed to be even a left tackle, Villanueva. You got him, and you expected him to be a starter?
Right.
Like, when there was guys out there, I mean, we didn't have to have Bozeman at center. There were centers out there. I mean, you got the right guard, cool, but it's like you did nothing. You drafted a backup fullback instead of a lineman. We drafted one lineman in the draft last year, and that was Ben Cleveland.
Yeah.
So that made me feel that they were fine with that line. I don't know what made them feel fine with that line, but there were many of linemen out there, even past the third round, we could have gotten.
Right.
And stuff like that, I think Lamar should look at it and be like, why would I sign a long-term deal there if they won't protect me? Because they're going to
Mm,
probably say to him, oh, well, you didn't play a full season, so we're going to give you this, this, and this, and probably underpay him. But in reality, he saved this franchise from being poverty. I'll say it. I mean, we
yeah.
missed the playoffs how many years without him? And even then, I think there was a tweet that said the Ravens didn't even build around Joe Flacco, and that was 100% true. And they're doing
Right.
it again with Lamar.
Yeah, I mean, when you say I like the term you use, like build around. You have to build around Lamar Jackson, but the only way to build around a quarterback is if you build from the inside out. So the inside starts with that
And
offensive
they're
line.
putting from the outside in, it seems
They're
like.
doing
They're
from the
doing the exact
outside in.
opposite.
They're doing the opposite, right? So I don't know. I mean, I'm getting more and more frustrated with our front office just talking about this right now.
Like I
Let
said,
us know
there's
how
just
you
been a
guys are feeling
disconnect.
down
It's
below.
just been
Yeah,
the biggest disconnect. And then you were talking about the John Harbaugh. Who was he talking to? Garrett Downing?
yeah, yeah,
And he said he wants to have offensive linemen that can block.
yeah,
I
yeah.
want
He did
receivers
say
that can catch. Like that's their main
for
job.
sure, for sure. I mean, I know I kind of get from a head coaching, a front office standpoint, that you don't want to publicly express interest in certain players before the
Yeah.
draft, or even certain archetypes of players before the draft, because that might sway what another team does that's picking in front of you. It's all strategic. It's literally somebody's job, day in and day out, to study all this stuff, study other teams, what they may do, all
That'd be
that
a
sort
great
of
job.
thing.
That'd
It
be
would be a great
lovely.
job.
Just
That'd be a
check
lot
the
of
the,
fun,
the
right?
wire every day, see who they
I know,
sign,
right?
see.
That'd be a lot of fun. Now that I think about it. But yeah, there's guys who it is their dedicated job to do just that. So, I understand from that standpoint why the Ravens don't want to be so forward and upfront with what type of player they want or who they want necessarily. But you brought up the John Harbaugh interview, which was dropped earlier today. I wanted to actually touch on another point that he made in that interview. He was basically talking about pick number 14, which the
Hmm.
Ravens currently hold in the draft. And the word he used to describe pick number 14, he said, yeah, it's capital. It's
Hmm.
capital. What does that tell me? That tells me that, hey, yeah, we're picking at 14th, but we very well may use that 14th pick, trade back to get
Hmm.
more picks, maybe
And I
get a
fully
double
expect
pick.
it. I,
I
I know you do too.
Oh no, when's the last time we picked this low?
I think the Ronnie Stanley pick.
Hmm. Okay.
That
So
was
how
in
many
the
years
5
ago
and
that
11
was?
season. That was 2016.
Wow, wow. So at least like 6 years ago. Wow.
The last
Hmm.
change.
A lot has changed. A lot has changed. So I don't know, man. I want them to stick with that 14th pick. You
Yeah,
or no? You
I
do?
do. I mean, I think let's say a guy you like is there. Um, I'm not opposed to moving back 2 to 3 picks to
Hmm.
get another maybe second or third because I mean we've hit, but I think if there is nobody you want there, then you obviously should. I think if you're going offensive lineman and there's just people that I personally don't believe Trevor Penning is the number 14 overall pick after seeing more and
Hmm.
more on him.
Yeah.
I think you trade back. If
Hmm.
Sauce Gardner is there, I think that'd be a hell of a pick. I would love that pick. I'll be honest.
Yeah, and I guess we're like when it comes down to it, I think the top two, the dueling positions for who we would get at 14
Yeah,
is either O lineman or DB.
yeah.
If it's outside of that, it doesn't make any sense at
Maybe
all, right?
edge, maybe.
Maybe
Or if
edge.
if Ojabo's there, it's just like there's certain guys that if they're there, that you kind of can't say no to them.
If Ojabo's there, it would be nice to have him, especially considering that he did play, for Mike McDonald, not Mike
And
McDonald. What am
and
I
that,
thinking about? It
yeah,
was Mike McDonald, right? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'm
yeah,
right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so that would be great, pairing him back up with
It
with
was still
him.
pissed me off. I'm like, well, was he the best guy there? Or
Yeah,
because he's from Michigan to jump him? Stuff like that.
right. Ah, man, but that's something that I really want to get a response out of you guys from. JTV says it here. Who do you guys want at 14? It's O line or DB. I think those are the top
Yeah,
two priorities. If it's anything else, it doesn't make sense unless it's David Ojabo, and even that is still kind of shaky for me
yeah.
because it's
I
like
mean,
we
I
got to build
like
around Lamar.
Lindenbaum. I think the way they kind of compared him to Marshall Yanda kind of got me a little warm in the heart
He's
from
not a
from
he's not a
Iowa
guard though.
center. I
I
mean,
know.
that's. I mean, I honestly think we can re-sign Ryan Jensen.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Ryan Jensen back in Baltimore. And like we're talking about this way too prematurely because we don't know what the hell's going to happen. I mean,
Right.
we signed Sammy Watkins, and I thought we weren't going to draft Rashad Bateman, and we did. Stuff like that could happen. We could re-sign both and throw him at left guard and put Jensen at center if we sign both of them. Will it happen? Probably not. But we're
Right.
still so many questions have to be answered.
I mean, but my thing is like Bozeman did not play bad. He didn't play bad this past
No,
season, you know?
I
So
think
it's like,
he played out of his price range for us, unfortunately.
which sucks, but I just think that there's bigger fish to fry on that
Oh,
offensive
I
line than center. You
tackle.
know, like tackle. That's it right there. That's
I
what
mean, they
needs
were
to
talking about
get.
Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing too.
Yeah,
Said that Ronnie Stanley said to EDC that he's feeling a lot further ahead at this point in the offseason than he did last year in the offseason, which to me really means nothing. Considering the fact that, you know, came back first game and then we didn't see him for the rest of the season, you know.
yeah,
So I'll believe it when I see it when it comes to Ronnie Stanley these
right
days,
there
you
with
know.
you. I'm literally right there with you.
Yeah, you know, that's how we got to be. I mean, I don't
They
want
fooled us
to
before.
right. And it's no fault to Ronnie Stanley.
No,
You know, I'm just
it's
saying
not.
like right. I'm just saying
I
I
feel there
believe
was
it when I see it.
pressure on his end. Like we're paying you all this money, go
Hmm.
out there and play. I think that's kind of what led to him being rushed back.
Yeah. Yeah. Um John Doe says here, how much better would the Ravens be if they had tried to move up the draft instead of falling back to get more draft picks over the last 5 years or so?
I mean, when we traded back in 2018, look who we got.
Hmm.
When we were aggressive,
Yeah, sometimes it
that whole
works out.
draft was just hits no misses. You could say Hayden Hurst, but we flipped that into J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, we did. Speaking of J.K. Dobbins as well, J.K.
Mm-hmm.
Dobbins is also supposedly on track to be able to be good to go for next
And
season.
Gus, and Gus.
And Gus,
We forgot.
and
I mean,
Gus.
I forgot how good Gus Edwards was. I really did. Like he's
Oh yeah,
just.
it's easy to forget after a whole season of not seeing him play, you
I'm
know.
seeing.
But
I'm seeing just the
Gus
makeshift running back
Edwards,
we had.
exactly, man. I'm so excited to see what our offense looks like next season when it's actually at full strength. And I know I'm preaching to the choir when I say that. But again, there are some things that need to be shored up on that offense, like the offensive line, in order to make anything happen. And I'm gonna say it again: you got to build from the inside out. You know,
Yeah.
inside out. So like it always starts and finishes with the trenches. So we definitely have to get that O line shored up. Defensive line, of course, we know we're aging on that front as well, and we need
Oh my goodness.
some youth. We need an injection
Yeah.
of youth. I think they used that term the other day as well. Like we definitely need something there as well. But the good thing about it is we have a boatload of draft picks this year. We have a lot of draft picks, so
Let's use him.
let's use them. And like we said before, this is going to be the most important offseason for EDC, and more importantly, the most important draft for EDC, because you have more draft picks than you know what to do with. You know, you have more positions of need than you know what to do with. You know,
Yep.
and you don't have a whole lot of cap space. So it's like with that, all those three things being taken into consideration, you have to hit on these picks. There is no Ben
And
Mason and then cut him and then, you know, there's nothing. You can't do that. We can't afford it. All right.
and one of the teams you play 2 times a year just made the Super Bowl. That's even
Mm-hmm.
more pressure right there. It's like you before we won the playoffs. We number 1 seed, made it to the divisional round. It's like okay, Lamar got hurt. Well, we're gonna come back. We're gonna be good. Oh, we came back and we just had a whole boatload of injuries. And I think I'm looking at that too. I'm worried about training camp this year. I think every Ravens fan is going to have PTSD to last year. You're going to want training camp to fly by. You're going to want preseason to fly by. You just want to get the regular season. I mean, just after what happened last year, I forget what day it was in August. I would never forget those 2 notifications I got back to back.
Me neither. Yeah.
I was sitting right on this bed. And I literally didn't move for like an hour. It was so bad.
I was the same way. I got that news and I was just like stuck for a while. I was just like, wow, everything that we just spent the whole offseason talking about is like null and void right now. Because like we have nothing like in our running back room. And EDC talked about that as well. And I've seen a lot of people talk about the possibility of us drafting a running back, you know, this year.
Anything,
what do you think about that?
Day
Day three.
If I mean, no to Saquon. I've seen that. I saw somebody say cut Gus Edwards for Saquon. No,
No, we're not taking.
I mean, I would love to have him, but he's just too good to be a running back 3. That's just simple. But like day 3. Same thing with a receiver, day 3. There's a lot of good receivers I think you can get in day 3. But you know the Ravens. We'll probably draft another long snapper or something, or a punter. I mean, we really could draft a punter because this could be Sam Cook's final year. We could cut him because that's all we cut him would save money. Yeah.
I think I know who we are cutting. I think I know we are going to be moving on from Alejandro Villanueva.
Yeah.
There was, I think they didn't talk about, I think EDC has said 2 things. He said he hadn't talked to Alejandro Villanueva yet about any future deals or, his future with the team. But he also said later on in that presser that, since free agency starts soon, he's about to start making calls to these players and start, moving some pieces around. So if he hasn't had any communication with Alejandro Villanueva yet, I'm assuming that that's going to happen really, really soon.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think Tavon Young, unfortunately, might be one too. I would hate to see that, but I think it saves like $5 million, I believe. Don't quote me. I just think I think Marlon or Morano has to be restructured.
I don't know, man. Maybe those things will happen. I was just thinking when you said Tavon Young, I was stuck on like, well, what are we gonna do without Tavon Young? And I'm thinking of Brandon Stevens, and like that name just comes to mind for me. I mean, he definitely did come on strong at the end of last season, so hopefully he can be one of those players who takes a next step up. In his sophomore campaign. Because
I could throw one. If they stick him at safety, you can throw Zadarius Washington at slot.
Yeah.
Slot corner.
Yeah. That too. I mean, I feel like the NFL is all about how is your cheap talent performing? How are they performing? Because that's where you're getting the most value. So if we can have guys ball out, like step up and ball out. Right, yeah.
Look at the 4 teams in the championship game. Look at the Niners. Deebo Samuel's is still in his rookie contract. I mean, we're talking cheap. Brandon Ayuk. That's your 2, besides Kittle, but that's your 2 receivers. The Rams just Odell's on like a 1-year vet minimum. I don't think Cup's been paid yet like that. Then the Bengals, obviously, every single piece it feels like is only making like $3 million. And then the Chiefs, they go and get a center in the second round named Creed Humphrey, who we were talking about this time last year, who had like one of the most historic seasons for a rookie center they've ever seen.
Yeah.
So that's 100% facts. I mean, we have the same talent. I mean, what about Bateman?
What about Bateman? My guy Gerald in the house says Bateman. What's good, Gerald? Thank you for coming through. Hope you're doing well. Darius the official in the house. What's going on, Darius? Thank you for coming through. Another Purple Rain pioneer. We're loving it. Make sure you guys go ahead and like this video. Like this video, guys. Leave a thumbs up. If you haven't already, leave a thumbs up if you're enjoying tonight's content or whenever you're consuming this. In the morning, afternoon, evening, just leave a thumbs up, please. It will help us out so much. Guys, listen, one more thing too. We're getting so close to this giveaway. We're getting so close to this giveaway. We're literally 4 episodes away. Less than that, if you want to count this one. So, listen, you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed. Also, you want to make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast because it's the only way you're going to be eligible for the giveaway, to be picked for the giveaway. And it's going to be a jersey giveaway.
And Twitter too.
Yeah. And you know what I think? Since we're getting closer to the 100th episode and 2,000 subscribers, I think we're going to put a poll on our Instagram, for which Raven do you want as the jersey giveaway? Which one do you want?
I think we're biased, personally.
Okay.
A little bit of bias.
Okay. We'll put options. We'll put options. Options there. So you guys. I know who I'll be voting for. Cool. My guy Gerald, though, I want to bring this up. He's saying, why am I hearing the Ravens need a number 1 receiver?
Dude, I'm here. No. I'm here, and I wouldn't mind getting another receiver, an X. I really wouldn't.
Yeah.
But we don't need – I mean, we already have – we have 2 players that complement each other very, very well in 5 and 12. So, I mean, to think that we would go all out for – who's the top receivers out? Devontae Adams. It's not happening. No. Allen Robinson, no, it's not happening unless he takes a 1-year deal. Not happening.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the whole number one receiver thing, I feel like the main reason why people say that the Ravens need a number one receiver is because they don't necessarily really watch and study the Ravens and know the Ravens and know what's going on.
Yep.
We know we have competent receivers. We know Hollywood Brown is good. We know Rashad Bateman is good. We know Devin Duvernay, hell, is good. James Prochet. We know we have good pass catchers. Mark
Yep.
Andrews. We have good pass catchers.
Yep.
But to the mainstream media who sees us lose a lot of games but knows Lamar Jackson is great, they're going to say, oh, he has no help. He needs a number one receiver. But they don't realize that, the Ravens need to build, and they're not, from the inside out in order to make this offense work. Because you saw when the Ravens were built from the inside out and that offensive line was good, it didn't matter who he had on the outside. Willie Snead, Seth Roberts, it didn't matter, So.
And it's great. I mean, this offense was figured out in week 10. I'll just call it how it was against the Dolphins.
It was the Dolphins, yeah.
And
National
before that,
television.
Yeah, we were 6-2 going into that game. All these injuries, we were putting up points, and after that game, it just all went to trash. So
yeah, pretty much. We do have our first super chat donation of the night. Thank you so much. This one's coming from Savix.
Thank you,
my guy Savix, making it rain here on episode 96 of the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you so much for your donation. He says, to be honest, I hear everyone talking about Tyrann Mathieu, but I would rather save money and get someone like Justin Reed. What do y'all think?
I honestly wouldn't mind that. I think Justin Reed and I think Marcus May from the Jets is I was actually making a video for Marcus May yesterday. It's obviously no Tyrann Mathieu. I think what Tyrann Mathieu sticks out to us is that he's a leader on the defense that we really don't have.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there in itself is there's just no price on that. But I wouldn't mind if the price is right for Reed, yes. But if Matthew's in the range, I would like to go for it after him.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if Tyrann Mathieu is in that range, which I think that he would be, honestly. Like, you're talking about a guy who, has been on a few squads, and at this point in his career, I'm sure he really just wants to win. And I know you can kind of just look at the Ravens, and the Ravens are the type of team that you want to go to, right? Like, it's just like the play like a Raven mentality. It's a great organization. It always has been a very successful franchise. And just that locker room, like just the energy that those guys, who wouldn't want to be in the same locker room as
him.
Lamar Jackson? I mean, our players right now are recruiting him. Our guy Patrick Queen was recruiting him. I think Marlon Humphrey too.
They played together in Arizona. They were a safety duo.
Right. So it's like it would make so much sense to have him right in that locker room to give that defense an identity, Like, I feel like we lacked that at multiple times throughout last season. And that could be in large part because we didn't have, Marcus Peters. We didn't have Marlon Humphrey for a while there. And, there were even some games where Calais Campbell wasn't even on the field, and we know we need him. But let's see. We do have another.
I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And our number 32 is that number will be open along with the number 7, which he wore at LSU. The numbers are open. Just come on over.
Hey, the numbers are there.
If you want to wear the single digit, it's all yours.
Yeah. We're letting them know. We're recruiting Tyrann Mathieu here on episode 96 of the Purple Rain podcast. Come to the Ravens, Tyrann. Come to the Ravens, man. Your numbers are available. You heard it from Simply himself.
Your pick. Which one do you want? 7 or 32?
What do you want? Let us know. But yeah, we do have another super chat donation coming from Savings again. Thank you so much, man. Making it rain some more. Says, but I'm putting bread on Jorge Masvidal. I know it's dumb. No, that's not dumb. That's not dumb. He's an underdog, and he's probably going to be a pretty massive underdog, if I had to assume, just based off of his last fight and what Colby's done. Colby hasn't lost to anybody but Kamaru Usman, who is the champion. So I think Kamaru's going to be a heavy favorite, and, putting money on Jorge Masvidal is not a bad idea because it's a fight. He can knock him out like that, and then all of a sudden you're paid. So thank you so much, Savix. See, we got a guy, Hoodie Ramey, in the building. Says, yo. What's going on, Ramey? Appreciate you for coming through. Let's see. Brandon Lewis says, O-line collapsed when OBJ left.
I'll go more Gionda. I can understand that, but I think it just hasn't been the same since Gionda left.
I think it's more of a combination of Orlando Brown Jr. leaving and Ronnie Stanley being hurt. I think it's more of a combination of those two things, not necessarily just OBJ.
Yeah, and then I'd see people saying to cut Ronnie Stanley. That does nothing, actually. It really does nothing. You would just get more harm out of that with dead cap. And
Yeah.
I don't want to go down that road.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's pull up another comment from Jonathan Washington Jr. here. It says, I feel like getting another wide receiver would be a luxury, and Ravens, I think, should take that chance. Our wide receivers are good, not great. Bateman has the potential to be, but still unproven. Be more like Tampa Bay and the Rams. So are you saying that we should go after, an Antonio Brown, a Mike Williams, who are the other? Obviously, we're not going to get a Devontae Adams, land anybody like that. But you're saying we should go after one of these big names in free agency? I don't.
Stay away from Antonio Brown. I'm listening. No.
Yeah.
After saying this man is about to perform at Rolling Loud with Kanye West. No.
He said I'm good.
Just, yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, Mike Williams, I could get. I can get behind that. And there's other guys out there. There's a DJ Chark. He's out there. A-Rob's coming off. No, he's not coming off. There is somebody coming off an injury. I think Godwin re-signs with the Bucks. But if there is somebody who becomes available mid-season, Tampa Bay, they signed AB. The Rams, they signed OBJ. I don't see why not. Because I know we would do it on the defensive side of the ball if it was there.
Right. And you're absolutely right about that. But the Ravens don't seem to be aggressive in that way on offense for whatever reason. No. But my only thing about this, like, yes, I would prefer to go your route, simply like to do kind of like a mid-season snatch and grab, just we picked up this guy for our last 5 games and we're going to take him into the playoffs, that sort of thing.
Yep.
As opposed to being aggressive to go get a wide receiver in free agency. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Be aggressive and go get an offensive tackle.
And the comp pick, the all-forsaken comp pick. They don't want to give that up.
Right. You know how the Ravens feel about their comp picks, man. You know how they feel about their comp picks. Side note, let's utilize Tylan Wallace more. All right, let's move on.
Okay. Oh, no. Yeah. I love that. Love it.
Yeah. Just side note, for sure. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and move on here right after I bring this up. We got a guy, Click One in the house, says, yo, Rain Gang, it's been a while. I've been having to be on Replay Gang for the past about 5 to 6 months because of classes. Hope you guys still remember me.
Of course we do.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, man.
What type of...
Right, of course. And we appreciate you for coming through each and every
time.
We appreciate you for coming
Chatting
through.
Rubbish.
To this episode 96 of the Purple Rain Podcast. Thank you, Click One. We appreciate you. All right. So let's go ahead and change gears here. We want to talk about Zadarius Smith. Zadarius Smith. He is back in Baltimore. He was spotted. There was a Zadarius Smith sighting in Baltimore and Charm City
made it known
yesterday.
He made it known.
Nobody found out. Nobody saw him. It wasn't paparazzi, TMZ. No. He posted it on his Instagram story. What does that mean? We're here to talk about it. We want you guys to talk about it. First of all, let's start with this. Simply, would you like Zadarius Smith back in a Ravens uniform?
Absolutely. See, if I were to curse, I would curse now, but I'm not going to. Absolutely. I mean, why not? You have this guy named Odafe Owe. You have him. He put up 5 sacks his rookie season while being hurt. He showed promise. I just don't see why you don't. Zadarius Smith came back, and his first snap with the Packers in the playoffs, he had a sack. Dang. He is that guy. He has been that guy. Under a new defensive coordinator, bring him back.
Yeah. I loved Zadarius Smith when he was in Baltimore. Like, he made a lot of plays, a lot of good plays, and
he brought that energy.
He did. He kind of reminded me of like a younger Pernell McPhee. If that makes any sense.
And they both wore 90. They both wore 90 too.
Maybe they're the same. I don't know. Anyway, look.
That 90 will be open. Don't worry.
That 90 will be open. Look, man, I would not be opposed to seeing him come back to Baltimore, man. Like I said, I really loved watching him play, and we could definitely use some help at that linebacker position. We definitely could use the help. We know that with the linebackers we have now, we have guys that are older, but we also have some young guys who aren't there just yet. I think Malik Harrison, his growth was stunted by his incident that happened this past season, like the middle of the year. Patrick Queen has still looked like really, really, really promising. He'll have his struggles in the beginning of the season, and then he'll get right. And we're all expecting him to take that next jump, that next step up. So, but just bringing in somebody like a Zadarius Smith, somebody who is proven in Baltimore, proven even outside of Baltimore, I think that it could bode well for our defense. So him being in Baltimore is huge. I think it's a sign. I think that we're trying to talk to him. I don't think it's for no reason. I don't think he just posted that he was in Baltimore, Maryland just for the hell of it. He knows the talks that have been going on. There's a reason, right? There's a reason to every story, and there's a reason to his Instagram story that he posted. We have another super chat donation. This one coming from our guy Gerald, none other than Gerald, making it rain, absolutely rain here on episode 96 of the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you so much, as always. Gerald says, thanks for keeping it real. Looking forward to episode 100. Yeah,
thank you, Gerald.
Yeah, we're looking forward to episode 100 as well. Like we said again, if you weren't in here before, there is a giveaway. Episode 100 or 2,000 subscribers, whichever comes first. We will be doing a giveaway. So make sure you follow us on Instagram at The Purple Rain Podcast. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed already. And then like this video. Like this video, guys. Leave a thumbs up. Leave a like. It helps us out a ton, man. You don't even know. Trust me. It helps us out a whole lot. But thank you, Joe. We appreciate you so much. But yeah, man, just kind of talking more about the draft, right? Going back to that, touching on that just a little bit before we wrap here. I know you were saying something about Trevor Penning and how you're not sold at him being picked at number 14.
Correct.
But a lot of people really, really want him. So I was looking at, I think it was Jonas Schaefer who tweeted like a highlight of his. And it was a highlight of him like pancake blocking a guy basically. And then while the guy's already on the ground, he just throws his shoulder into him.
I love that. And
it's just, do you though? Because that's a penalty. That's a flag.
I know.
It's 15 yards for unnecessary roughness. So do that in a game with the Ravens.
Did you see what the one lineman from Penn State did?
You said
from Penn State?
Rasheed Walker.
Yeah, you saw that.
Yeah, and I actually have something very interesting to tell you about that too.
Okay, lay it on me.
So, Rasheed Walker, he's actually from my hometown. He went to my high school.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, he's younger than me, but he that particular play, that was against somebody else who went to a rival high school of ours.
Oh.
Yeah, and somebody who he had history with, that sort of thing. It wasn't like a ill intent thing. It was just more of like a, I don't know. It was still weird. It was still definitely weird. But I did see that, but I do know kind of like the backstory to it.
Okay.
Kid literally used to come in my court and play basketball with me and some of my friends, and my little brother and stuff. So Rasheed Walker's definitely come a long way, and congrats to him for, being at the combine right now and getting ready to be drafted. So.
And going viral.
And going viral too. Going viral as well. That video had over 2 million views last time I checked. But yeah, man. Let's see. Cam Neal, just talking about Trevor Penning here, says he's too raw for number 14. His technique needs to be refined instantly. First round offensive linemen need to be day one starters. Facts. Those are facts, Cam Neal. I like that. Says he's a dog for sure, but let's help our O-line coach. He needed the help last season. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. We definitely don't need somebody who is a project at O-line. That's not what you want.
I saw you the most holding penalties, I think, in every conference. I think Northern Iowa plays in, which kind of scares me because I'm just stuck with the holding number 78 on the offense in my head. And I don't need any of that.
Yeah, the penalties are something that we definitely have to cut down on, especially on that offensive line. So if there's anybody that we're drafting at O-line, I'm sure, and I would hope actually. I'm not sure because I'm not sure about anything with the Ravens front office anymore. But I would hope at the Ravens front office they get a guy who does not have a history of committing a bunch of penalties, because that's not what we need. It's not what we need at all. But yeah, I think we will go ahead and leave that there. Now we want to go ahead and let you open it up to questions from the Rain Gang.
Been a
open
minute.
Up to questions from you guys. It's been a minute. Questions from the Rain Gang. We want to get that back going, guys. So make sure you drop your questions down below. If you're watching live right now, if you're part of the hashtag replay gang, we appreciate you guys so much, just as much. Make sure you leave your comments and questions, your burning questions down below, and we will get to those as well. But yeah, just while you guys are getting your questions in there, I wanted to touch a little bit back on my UFC 273. Guys, again, make sure you tune into this card. It is not just the main event. There are a lot of interesting fighters on that card. And if you miss out, I'm telling you, you're going to be waking up to highlights on ESPN. And you're like, damn, I wish I watched it, man, because it's going to be a great card. So, but, I mean, there's more about the main event. Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. The reason this fight is so interesting is because they were once best friends. Like best friends, training partners, and things like that. And then Colby Covington, he got a little bit big. You know, he got more popular than Jorge Masvidal. And then I guess Jorge Masvidal got a little jealous. That's the way Colby describes it. Started making some posts about things, and before you know it, Colby switches gyms, and now they're not friends anymore. Now they hate each other, and now they're getting ready to fight on Saturday night. So that's like the story. WWE. Like, I mean, it sounds like a made up story, right?
Yeah.
Once best friends, Colby even described them as brothers at one point. Now they're fighting. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. While you guys are getting in these questions here, let's see. Gerald says the Ravens have a few holes offensively and defensively, but if those holes are filled and Lamar Jackson is able to get a little extra time, look out. Yeah.
I can't agree more.
Yeah. I can't agree more. JB says, do you guys see the Marcus Peters extension coming up as a way to drop his cap hit for this year?
I hope so. I think cutting him would just be so dumb. I just don't see the point in cutting him. Like, just money is all there is. We lack a playmaker in the secondary, and he's bringing that back. It's not like he lost one of his eyes. I know he tore his ACL, but he's a smart ball player. There's no point cutting him. Yeah. I hope he gets next, like a 2-year extension.
Yeah, honestly, me too. Because like you said, I mean, that playmaker on defense was something that we were missing so bad this past season. I can't tell you how many popped up in the air, dropped interceptions we had, or it was just bad. It was bad. I'm having flashbacks right now, and it was bad. So we definitely need Marcus Peters back. So I definitely agree on re-signing him. Yeah. Let's see. JTV says Gardner or Stingley Jr.
This is hard. I want to say Stingley, but I saw there's some stat about Sauce. Like, it's insane. It's I don't want to say Stingley was playing at LSU and was going against, Bama and all those SEC teams. But then it's like Sauce was going again. I'm gonna say Stingley. I'm gonna say Stingley. LSU bias here.
LSU bias. Hey man, I don't know, man. I feel like the main thing coming out of LSU right now is those receivers.
You're right.
That's the big draw.
They can produce some defensive players.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I need to look up what LSU receivers are coming out of the draft this year, because obviously that's a thing now.
I'm waiting for Terrace Marshall to blow up. Like,
I forgot
he's just sitting there with the Panthers right now. Like,
remember we wanted him like so bad. Terrace Marshall.
I wanted, yeah. Oh God.
Terrace Marshall, and then we ended up getting Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
I wonder if Panthers fans completely forgot about Rashad Bateman by now. Probably
not. I mean, they have DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. I don't want Robbie Anderson really has to look at that contract.
Did Terrace Marshall score any touchdowns this season? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Because Bateman had one, right?
Against the Bengals.
He should have had two, because that one against the Browns, that was a touchdown. I don't care. His knee was not down. Yeah. But, yeah. Anyways, let's see. Adam78 chiming in here says, could you see Tavon Young getting cut to save around $5 million? He's only played 2 full seasons out of 5. Yeah. We talked about it earlier on the show, and simply pointed out that, it's about $5 million we would save if we did cut him. So I think him, along with some other guys that are going to be kind of hard to take in, they're going to be cap casualties. So that's just unfortunate as it is. It is a business, and Tavon Young definitely did help us out at, multiple times in the season, especially when our secondary was banged up to hell.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But this is why. Right. this is why like you got to have your cheap talent step up and perform. So I mean, we're looking at guys like Brandon Stevens. We're looking at guys like Chris Westry. You know, all those names. Like we need those guys to step up. But I could definitely see Tavon Young getting cut. Let's see. Ravens Online Ungatekeeper says, "Do you want to see Calais Campbell come back?" Yes, I do. I do.
At the right price. At the right price. That's the biggest kicker.
Yeah, definitely at the right price, but just like you said about Tyrann Mathieu, like he brings something to the defense that is invaluable. Like that leadership, you know, that dog mentality. Like there were certain times in this season where, right, that too. There were certain times in the season where we hadn't won some of those games if it hadn't been for Calais Campbell. You know,
the Colts, the block kick,
the blocked field goal.
Yep.
Like you got to think about that. That was a play where he just decided, like, no, I'm not going to get stopped here.
Well, he stopped him on third down. It was third down. He stopped them.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back plays.
Yeah, and then made that. Had a bunch of tackles for losses against the Lions, and then the fumble recovery against the Bears.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would love to see him back in the fold for at least one more year, you know, because, I mean, at this point, it's like one-off years until he retires. So I feel like he said he wants to come back. I feel like he will come back to the Ravens this year. I think we'll re-sign him for one more season. And he'll ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Tanja Bowman in the house says, "Hey, Rain Gang and Ravens Flock." What's up, Tanja? Thank you for coming through. JB, we'll go ahead and end it here with this question. Says, "Are we cutting Miles Boykin this season? Yes or no?"
Okay. I was watching a Ravens video today. Shout out to Raven about Miles Boykin. And you know, he doesn't make the most catches. But when he makes them, they're touchdowns. He's a good red zone target. And I think we won't cut him because I think he'll make the team strictly for special teams. I'm just going to be honest. I think he'll make it. Is that the right decision? Who knows? But at the same time, I get why people don't want him on the team. I can see both sides. I really can. I think we should cut him, but I don't think we will. That's just my final take on that. Just my final take.
Interesting.
Very overhated, though. Very overhated. I can understand some hate, but very overhated.
Definitely overhated. Some of the criticism, or a lot of it, is warranted to me, though.
Yeah, it's like, agree with that. But get his last name right, first and foremost. That's my biggest pet peeve.
When people say Boykins? Yeah, I hate that too. That's irritating. It's like there's no S on that. Like I don't know where you're getting the S from. Anyway, but Boykin, I feel like a lot of the criticism is warranted only because of like his build, man. Look at the guy. I mean, he's 6 what?
I kill to be 6'4". I kill to be 6'4".
He's a fast guy. You know what I mean? He's got length. Like
kill for that.
There's no reason why he can't be that X guy. And it's like if he's not that X guy, then what else is he good for? Blocking?
Special
He's good
teams.
For blocking.
Third round pick.
And for all the people saying, "Oh, move him to tight end, move him to tight end," you can't do that because if you move him to tight end, he's no longer going to be blocking receivers on the outside. He's going to be trying to block outside linebackers. He's going to get blown up. You know?
Let's just imagine. Give me a TJ Watt against Miles Boykin.
What do you think's going to happen? Right. He's going to get tossed like a salad. Like it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
Not good.
So, yeah, man. And then also, Ravens Online Ungatekeepers here says his effort is sometimes lacking. Yeah.
Him and Willie ran into each other. Yeah, he'll be running in the Ronnie Stanley on the left side of the line.
Or sometimes he'll just be running, you know? Like, run, Miles, run, you know?
Right now I'm just running around.
Right. For real. Honestly.
Like the Russell Westbrook. Right now I'm just running around.
I'm just running around, bro. Like, that's it. But, yeah. So, I mean, we're not trashing Miles Boykin here, man. No. I mean, I would love to see him back for special teams because I know he does bring something to the team. He does bring something to the team, and it's a good point to say that he is a good red zone target because he has caught a lot of touchdowns, you know.
I look at that catch against the Seahawks in 2019. Where has that been? Where has that, I thought he was going to be something on that one catch alone. He went out there, came back to the ball, went out there and got it. Since then, it's just been he'll make these touchdown catches, but he'll be butt crack open,
Yeah.
or just nobody's around him.
There's no like tough like contested catches, 50-50 balls, like he broke somebody down on a route. It's never any of that. It's never any of that.
I saw
Like
Prochet maul somebody against Washington in the preseason, and I haven't seen Boykin do that. He's going against probably the same tier corners.
Yeah.
4th and 5th.
So, yeah. Hopefully the Ravens find out what to do with Boykin, how to make him as useful as possible on that Ravens offense or even in special teams. Yes. But that is going to do it for us here on episode 96 of the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming through to this episode. Make sure before you go, leave a like before you go, leave a like. Also subscribe if you are new here, because we do have a giveaway coming up very soon that you're going to want to follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast. And like I said, again, make sure you subscribe to the channel to be eligible for that. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's been a great time talking with you guys this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whenever you're listening to this. And with that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out for the night.
Thank you for coming through episode 96 of the Purple Rain podcast. And as always, like the video, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast, not Purple Rain podcast, because we do not care about the TCU Horned Frogs. We don't.
No, we don't.
Talking about Ravens football. No. And we will see you on Monday. And as always, stay positive. Test negative. A lot of us have been doing that, testing negative. Love to see it.
Yeah, we love to see that. And most importantly, never, ever, ever, ever forget to call God. This has been episode 96 of PRP. We're going to catch you guys in the next